the special circumstances are during an epidemic of influenza, any COPD patient, or you can take a nephrotic syndrome child who is on steroids, exposed to a sibling with chickenpox, pregnant woman who received an unprovoked dog bite, example rapid animal, transplant recipient or immunosuppression, or an HIV patient or immunization of contacts. Okay, these are the special case scenarios, you can take it, okay? Hello?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay, just a small recap of immunization schedule. If you just anyone is out there, you can just have a look at it. Just a normal immunization schedule. This is national immunization schedule. Just have a brief look at it. Can you see me? Can you see the slides?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is national immunization schedule. And this is IAP schedule. There will be two already I told you, already I covered you last 2 weeks or 3 weeks back, National Immunization Schedule and Indian Academy of Pediatrics, IAP, right? Okay. So the high risk conditions are congenital or acquired immunodeficiency, chronic cardiac, pulmonary, renal, liver, hematologic or diabetes patients, prolonged immunosuppression with steroids. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, radiation therapy. These are all high risk conditions where vaccines cannot be given or you should give it carefully. Radiation therapy, CSF leak, cochlear implants, malignancies, asplenia or hypospenia during disease outbreaks, travelers to endemic areas. These are the high risk conditions. Okay. These are the high risk conditions where you should give special vaccines are congenital or acquired immunodeficiency, chronic cardiac pulmonary renal failures or diabetes patients, prolonged immunosuppression with steroids, radiation therapy, CSF leaks or cochlear implants, malignancies, asplenia or hypospenia during disease outbreaks, travelers to endemic areas. So vaccines that may be necessary are influenza vaccine, meningococcal vaccines, and travelers to endemic areas, Japanese encephalitis, cholera, rabies, yellow fever, and pneumococcal vaccines. Vaccines that may be necessary in special circumstances are influenza vaccine, meningococcal vaccine, and when you go to the traveling to the endemic areas, we can give Japanese encephalitis, cholera, rabies, yellow fever, and pneumococcal vaccine. What's the CR name? Babu CR. Hello.
Sai Malik, sir.
What's your name?
Sai Malik, sir.
Sai Malik. Okay. Where will you give Japanese encephalitis? Is it available in given in Telangana or no?
Hello.
Japanese encephalitis. JE అంటే ఏం వ్యాక్సిన్? వినపడుతుందా?
క్లియర్ గా లేదు సార్.
ఇప్పుడు వినపడుతుందా?
అనిపిస్తుంది.
ఇప్పుడు JE అనే వ్యాక్సిన్ where will you give it? Will you give it in Telangana or Andhra? ఏమైనా ఐడియా ఉందా జపనీస్ ఎన్కెఫలైటిస్?
ఉంది సార్.
మరి
ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్.
ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్ లో కొన్ని ఏరియాస్ విల్ బి గివింగ్ జపనీస్ ఎన్కెఫలైటిస్. ఇన్ తెలంగాణ ఇట్స్ నాట్ గివెన్. ఓకే.
ఓకే సార్.
So immunocompromised people, the general principles are all inactivated. 1 second. So immunocompromised, the general principle pneumococcal can be given, but low immunogenicity and efficacy. All live vaccines like BCG, MMR, and varicella are contraindicated in severe immunodeficiency. Mild to moderate immunodeficiency, they can be given if benefits outweigh risks. Okay, these are the special circumstances where certain vaccines to be given and what all vaccines not to be given. All live vaccines like in immunocompromised people, all inactivated vaccines like pneumococcal can be given. All live vaccines like BCG, MMR, varicella are contraindicated in severe immunodeficiency. Mild to moderate immunodeficiency, they can be given. అమ్మా ఆయమ్మా నీకు ఒకసారి చెప్పిన అరవబాక ఒక అరగంట తర్వాత రాబాక ఏ మేడము మనమే మాట్లాడు. Mild to moderate immunodeficiency, they can be given if benefits outweigh risks. Post-immunization antibody titers to be checked and boosters if needed. Higher doses or greater number of doses, example hepatitis B and antibody titers to decide boosters. Household contacts should not receive transmissible vaccines. Household contacts should not receive transmissible vaccines like OPV, but measles, MMR, varicella can be given. Pneumococcal and varicella, depending on the degree of immunocompromise, hepatitis A should be given. So basically, BCG live vaccine should not be given, but still, if there are more of benefits, they can be given. All inactivated vaccines can be given. Okay. So immunization in HIV infected children. Can you see the slide? CR. Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay, these are the immunization in HIV infected people. So asymptomatic and symptomatic BCG vaccine can be given in asymptomatic immunization in HIV infected children. Asymptomatic, you can give BCG vaccine. If it is symptomatic, you should not give. DPT or TDAP, yes, 6, 10, 14 weeks and 18 months and 5 years. 6, 10, 14 weeks, 18 months and 5 years. Polio vaccines, IPV, injectable polio vaccine can be given at 6, 10 and 14 weeks, 12 to 18 months on 5 years. If indicated, IPV to household contacts also. Measles can be given, yes, at 9 months if CD4 count is more. Yes, if CD4 count is more than 15%. MMR vaccine can also be given at 15 months and 5 years, and it can be given if CD4 count is more than 15%. And hepatitis B asymptomatic, it can be given 0, 1 and 6 months. And symptomatic also, yes, 4 doses, double dose, check seroconversion and give regular boosters. So these are the vaccines which can be given in the HIV infected people. BCG, yes, if it is the child is asymptomatic, symptomatic, you should not give. And others I already told you, just see the slide once. Just go through the slide once. ఇంకోటి పెయిన్ అబ్డామిన్ ఎప్పటి నుంచి అంట చిన్నడా పెద్దడా and also see these slides also vaccination in HIV infected, hib vaccine asymptomatic as per routine schedule, pneumococcal vaccine as per routine schedule it can be given. If it is symptomatic, there will be different strains of pneumococcal vaccines, and pneumococcal vaccine 23 strain, one dose 2 months after PCV, and two doses and second dose 5 years after the first dose. Influenza vaccine as per routine beginning at 6 months. Hepatitis A vaccine, yes, it can be given if it is asymptomatic and symptomatic. Check for seroconversion. Varicella vaccine can also be given. Typhoid conjugate vaccine can also be given. HPV vaccine, as per routine schedule, it can be given. So just go through the slide once. And these are the other special circumstances. Corticosteroids or immunosuppressive therapy. When the children is receiving or the patient is receiving corticosteroids or immunosuppressive therapy, that is oral corticosteroids 2 mg per kg per day. Oral corticosteroids 2 mg per kg per day for more than 2 weeks. No live vaccines till oral corticosteroids are discontinued at least for 1 month. These are other circumstances. Corticosteroids, if they are given oral corticosteroids, if they are discontinued for till they are discontinued for 1 month, no live vaccines should be given. Kill vaccines are safe but less efficacious. Children on lesser dose of corticosteroids, less than 2 weeks, or inhaled or topical, may be given age appropriated vaccines. Vaccine should be completed prior to therapy wherever possible. Live vaccines are not given for 3 months after such treatment. Inactivated vaccines given during medication may be repeated. Same hold good for other immunosuppressant medications. So the children who are on oral corticosteroids, if they are at 2 mg per kg for more than 2 weeks, no live vaccines up till 1 month. If they are less than 2 weeks, they can be given age appropriated. Live vaccines are not given for 3 months after such treatment. Same holds good for other immunosuppressant medications, also same as corticosteroids. And now other special situation is patients who are on cancer treatment by chemotherapy or radiotherapy. Live vaccines are contraindicated during the therapy and for 6 months after end of chemotherapy. Non-live vaccines are also best given after 6 months from end of treatment. Annual inactivated influenza vaccine is the only vaccine recommended for all children during chemotherapy. Sibling immunization, no OPV, only IPV. Inactivated influenza vaccine and varicella vaccine encouraged for all contacts, including sibling and parents. DPT, IPV, hepatitis B, typhoid, BCG, MMR, varicella, and influenza vaccines. So during cancer treatment, chemotherapy, and all live vaccines are contraindicated during and for 6 months. Non-live vaccines are also best given after 6 months. The only vaccine that can be given is inactivated influenza vaccine. These are the patients who are going on chemotherapy for cancer treatment. So, any special other special circumstances in cancer patients are if any rabbit bite or and all, thorough wound management and antisepsis, rabies immunoglobulin, even in class 2 bites, the full post-exposure vaccination, including 6 doses, 90th day is mandatory. Tetanus prophylaxis, cleaning of the wound, removal of devitalized tissue, irrigation and drainage, clean minor wounds, TT booster, all other wounds, TT plus and immunoglobulin should be given. Tetanus immunoglobulin should be given for all wounds, just minor wounds are clean minor wounds and booster doses of TT. And if the children are under any other blood products receiving treatment, live vaccine should be avoided for 3 months after administration of blood products. Blood products are preferably not given for 2 weeks following live vaccines. Bobby here, can you see the slide?
Yes, sir.
Hmm. So any transplant recipients also 3 doses of DPT 6 months after the treatment, above 7 years, Tdap vaccine, 3 doses of IPV, Haemophilus influenza, hepatitis B vaccine 6 to 12 months after the treatment, 3 doses of pneumococcal starting 3 to 6 months after the treatment, and 12 months after the treatment, 1 dose of pneumococcal strain 23 if there is no any graft versus host disease. These are like any transplant recipients also some other special circumstances. So any transplanted patients, just remember these 1 or 2 points. This is not required for you. Live vaccines to be given at least 4 weeks prior to the transplant. Post-transplant, all live vaccines are contraindicated. Influenza vaccine annually. All household immunized against influenza, measles, rotavirus, and varicella. So any transplant patients, live vaccines to be given at least 4 weeks prior to the transplantation. Post-transplantation, all live vaccines are contraindicated. Annually, you can give influenza vaccine. All household contacts immunized against influenza, measles, rotavirus, and varicella. So, any other special circumstances? Splenectomy patients, pneumococcal, Hib, meningococcal, and typhoid vaccines at least 2 weeks prior to splenectomy, preferably. If not 2 weeks after splenectomy, all live vaccines can be given. So any splenectomy cases, pneumococcal, Hib, meningococcal, and typhoid vaccines at least 2 weeks prior to splenectomy, preferably. If not 2 weeks after, 2 weeks before or 2 weeks after, and all live vaccines can be given. So in cases of congenital immunodeficiency, all live vaccines are contraindicated. Inactivated vaccines may be given, but they are also ineffective. In complement deficiencies, all vaccines can be given safely. In phagocytic defects, only live bacterial vaccines are contraindicated. So basically, all live bacterial vaccines are contraindicated in almost all the conditions, except in complement deficiencies, all vaccines can be given. And I already told you, immunocompression also chronic diseases, some neurological or endocrinal, liver and all live vaccines can be given. Safety, efficacy and duration of protection is less, but it can be given, but the efficacy, duration and protection is very less. Hepatitis A and B vaccines in chronic liver disease and pertussis booster is in stable neurological disease, and pneumococcal vaccines in cardiac and respiratory conditions are more important. In allergic disorders like influenza and yellow fever vaccines should not be given. Those are especially who are allergic to the egg allergy. Those who had hypersensitivity or anaphylaxis to previous dose should also not be given. So any anaphylaxis or hypersensitivity to previous doses, they also should not be immunized. So another important topic is pregnancy and lactation. So in pregnancy and any breastfeeding mothers and all, live vaccines are contraindicated. Measles, MMR, varicella are also contraindicated, and pregnancy avoided for 4 weeks after vaccination. But these can be given safely given to the contacts. All inactivated vaccines can be safely given. All inactivated vaccines can be safely given during pregnancy. If pregnant lady is hepatitis B positive, baby should be given soon after birth, especially within 12 hours, hepatitis B vaccine and also hepatitis B immunoglobulin. During in nursing mothers, yellow fever is also contraindicated. So all other live vaccines, so inactivated vaccines can be safely given in pregnant ladies and breastfeeding. These are all the conditions, and all live vaccines are contraindicated. You should remember that. And this is also very important. Hepatitis B positive mother immediately child after birth, preferably within 12 hours, hepatitis B vaccine and immunoglobulin hepatitis B should be given. Basically, all live vaccines are contraindicated. Inactivated vaccines can be safely given. Hmm? Advana వాడికి కొంచెం హడావిడి చేస్తాడు. CR,
Sir,
just 5 minutes more because I'm
okay, sir.
getting out of time. So immunization in preterm and low birth, this is also very important. Just remember it. Immunization in
Okay, sir.
preterm and low birth weight infants, BCG and OPV at the time of discharge can be given. Hepatitis B, if birth weight is less than 2 kgs, vaccination is delayed till the age of 1 month. If less than 2 kgs and is born to hepatitis B positive mother, hepatitis B vaccine and immunoglobulin should be given at birth, and 3 more doses of vaccine at 1, 2, and 6 months. All other vaccines as per chronological age. In immunization in preterm and low birth infants, just note down this slide. This is also important for you. BCG and OPV at the time of discharge, they can be given. Hepatitis B vaccine, if the child is less than 2 kgs, it is delayed till the age of 1 month. But still, if the child is less than 2 kgs and born to hepatitis B positive mother, hepatitis B vaccine and immunoglobulin should be given at birth, and 3 more doses at 1, 2, and 6 months. All other vaccines as per chronological age. So according to the you already saw the immunization schedule. If it is lapsed immunization, no need to restart a vaccine series regardlessly of the time that has elapsed between individual doses due to immune memory. Should be given at next week, next visit, as if the usual interval had elapsed. The immunization schedule should be completed the next means. If you forget the immunization date and all, you don't need to restart it. Again, start it. You should continue the vaccine at regular intervals. No need to restart the vaccination schedule again. Even if you miss the date or if you miss that age also, you don't need to restart it. That is the basic concept, basic thing here you should remember is no need to restart. And you should never prepone your immunization schedule and all. It's okay if you give later and all because it takes for the immunity to act. Never ever prepone the immunization. It's of no use. Okay, fine. That's it. These are just vaccinations and special circumstances and immunocompromised children. What all vaccines to be given, what all vaccines are contraindicated in pregnancy and lactation women, what all to be contraindicated, and what all vaccines can be given. We have finished in this class. With this, I think we have finished the complete immunization topic, right?
Yes, sir.
Babu CR.
Sir,
I think we have finished complete immunization, right?
yes, sir.
Basic principles of immunization we completed, kada?
Completed, sir.
Okay, నువ్వు ఒక్కడే ఉన్నావు ఇంకెవరు లేరా?
ఉన్నా,
Anyone
sir.
there? మరి ఎవరు
Yes,
మాట్లాడట్లేదు?
sir.
We have finished basic principles of immunization, immunization schedule, adverse effects following immunization, immunization in special circumstances, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Next week if I'm there, I'll continue with other topic and let you later. Okay. With this, we have finished the complete immunization topic. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Bye. Ready?